So yes, this is my second book. My first book is called Expedition to the Edge, Stories of Worldwide Adventure. And that one is about people, mostly Canadians, a lot of Rockies, Bow Valley locals, having really big adventures all over the world. This book, Tales and Trails, this one takes it home. It's all here in the Rockies and the adventures you can have in what I think is the world's greatest playground. There's just so much to discover and experience here in the Rockies, and I've been doing it for 27 years, and I'm still just scratching the surface. So with this book, I'm hoping to inspire people to not just look at how beautiful the mountains are from their car, because, my God, they are beautiful, but get out of the car, get off the pavement, and go out there and explore. And with each of the stories take place in different areas of the Rockies, from Yamnuska all the way up to Mount Robson, north of Jasper. And I've suggested for people to have their own adventures and at different levels: family-friendly, sweat a little, sweat a lot, or bust a lung. Family-friendly adventures are things anybody can do. Just out of your car, go for a half-hour hike. It's fun, and, there's no danger level, and you don't need a whole lot of experience. And even with the cross-country skiing, it's pretty simple. At the higher level, if you don't have the mountaineering skills or the rope experience, the glacier travel techniques to do the trips that I'm suggesting at the, sweat a lot and bust a lung levels, hire a guide. Professional mountain guides, that's what they do. They take you to places you can't go on your own until you develop the skills. So, my goodness, you can have a really cool adventure that way. So this story is, I got to go caving in Grotto Mountains, so it's a pretty neat way to experience the mountains by going inside one, not just walking on its surface. I am crawling on hands and knees on a lumpy brown dirt floor. At least my headlamp beam makes it appear brown. The uneven surface is littered with rocks and boulders. Everything is smothered in a fine dust that permeates the cool air. The floor, the boulders that restrict and channel my course of travel, the walls, the low vaulted stone ceiling. I am grateful for my knee pads and for my helmet. I'm so absorbed by the floor that I don't look ahead often enough to avoid collision with the irregular ceiling. Not that I would see much anyway. My surroundings are limited to whatever is illuminated by the narrow beam of light. Rounding a bend, I lose sight of my companions. For a very long minute, I can't even hear them. Just as space is obscured to me, so is time. I have no sense of the hour, the day of the week, what season it might be outside my underground environ. Even through rubber-palmed gloves, the ground feels cold and clammy as I weave around small puddles like an oversized toddler. Eventually, I rejoin the group, their light beams illuminating the shadowy, otherworldly cavern. So this story that I'm going to read from, it's called 7 Slopes in 7 Days. And skiing on a glacier is a spectacular experience. Some days you get beautiful sun and you can just see an ocean of snow with summits everywhere. And some days skiing on a glacier is like this. The wind was everywhere, a brutal, tangible force pushing from all sides. With my head shielded by my jacket hood, I fixed my eyes on the ski tails a few meters ahead, but the wind erased their tracks like a vigorously shaken etch-a-sketch. A cliff-bound face loomed in front of me, through a swirl of cloud, and then it was gone, as if someone switched a remote control back to a screen of churning wind and snow. On previous trips, I had simply focused on reaching the destination, a hut, a vehicle, or even home. This time, the destination was whatever place we stopped to set up camp. There and here were the same. Last summer, I got to explore the mountains in a whole new way, a different way for me. We took sea kayaks and paddled the length of Moline Lake, and that's in Jasper, and it was spectacular. You can rent canoes and go and do it there. They rent canoes right there on the spot. And this story is called Same Zen, Just Different. The kayak I'm sitting in skims the lake's surface so smoothly, I feel like I'm moving through the calm water as if it's the most natural thing for me to do, as if I belonged there, butt level with the water, as timeless as a fish. But fish, I know, are not native to the Canadian Rockies' longest and largest naturally formed glacier-fed lake. Brook trout were first introduced to Jasper's Moline Lake in 1928, and later rainbow trout were added to the mix, the latter a dominant species that has thrived in the cold water. Fishers have been blissfully casting their lines into these gemstone turquoise waters ever since. Note to self, someday I must learn to fish. For the moment, though, I'm paddling the length of the lake, all 22 kilometers of it, that's 13.7 miles, in a tandem sea kayak with 16-year-old Jonah in the aft seat and his parents, Peter and Rochelle, each paddling their own kayaks a few boat lengths away from us. We're bound for Coronet Creek campsite on the lake's southernmost shore. Gliding along on the smooth sheet of jade-toned liquid that's as glassy as mercury, I'm mesmerized by gentle ripples wafting across the lake surface like a silk sheet fluttering delicately in a soft breeze. The water is so green, so inviting to the eye, it reminds me of the Caribbean, but with the temperature of the Arctic. So this book, you'll find it at bookstores all through the Rockies. And it's just fabulous cover shot by local photographer Paul Zitska. People should also know that it's also available as an ebook on Kobo, iBookstores, and Barnes & Noble.